Hey everyone, how's it going today? And welcome back to another update. So today's update is I want to take a little bit of a trip to visit back again to talk a little bit all about now things related to the gas and oil tax stimulus checks programs that you guys might have already heard about, but we have even more information to share and actually really bright news to share in today's update. I think maybe to start is that it's very important to maybe start by clarifying one very huge common question that's very important above all, which is really about the fact that to get onto these programs, or for a lot of these programs in general, you don't actually necessarily have to be someone that is a driver or that has basically anything that relates to gas and oil. And I totally feel it right there. I live in New York. I don't have a car. I don't drive. I do know how to drive, but I don't have a physical vehicle to drive, therefore I don't drive, and I know a lot of people that are in those shoes, and it actually is maybe a really great thing in a way because it saves a lot of money, but otherwise beyond that is that we pretty much rely on foot. I am a biker admittedly, but otherwise it's foot, bike, or just public transportation. But it is a really great news. So the big idea is that most of these programs, the only reason they are called a gas oil tax stimulus program is simply because the program is being funded by things related to gas. So for example, like increasing taxes and everything related to that. Now, there are a few programs, I will admit, that you do have to own a car or be a driver for, but most of these, they're pretty much universal. So that is the really great news. So in today's update is that I really just want to talk all about more information about these programs. There are specific states now that already have very actually concrete plans to do this program, and a few of them that are actually very close to approval right now, so we're definitely going to talk all about that. So with that being said, let's just get started right on the spot, but really quick, as always, 10 really fast seconds, but remember to smash the like button. Of course, it is always greatly appreciated, but it is always greatly, if you guys hopefully enjoy videos like this, consider subscribing and hitting the bell, and as always, feel free to comment any maybe questions, personal thoughts, maybe about this program, or honestly, just really anything at all. So with that being said, let's get this video started. So when it comes to this gas oil tax fourth stimulus check program, currently right now at this time, it's important to notice is that there's technically many variations of this program to how it works. One version of this program is essentially something related to a tax rebate. So what this essentially is that it's a program where you actually do have to own a vehicle, but the reason why is really because it's meant to basically give you money, but they are very strict that they want you to specifically spend it on things such as exactly like the name suggests, gas and oil. But there's also actually a lot of, and actually even more programs on the second side, which is a really great news, which is really about trying to do programs, and the way this is going to work is that they're going to be increasing or just changing up the tax policies for how people buy gas, and then with the money that they raise from that, they're going to use that to fund and create stimulus checks for basically everyone within a certain demographic. Even people that do not drive, that do not own a vehicle, have essentially nothing to do with that. Of course, it just depends on the state and the specific program. But the first state that we're really going to talk about now is going to be in the state of Minnesota. So in Minnesota right now, the really great news is that they currently have their own stimulus check program where they're hoping to do $500 stimulus checks specifically to single adults making, I believe, about $164,400 per year. So that's a lot. I think that is probably going to be most people that are watching this video, even me included, making under $164,400 per year as a single individual, or for couples making under $274,470. So that is a lot of money. And if you're able to make over $250,000, even as a couple. Now, what is really great is that it's going to be $500 per person. So $500 if you're single, and then $1,000 if you're trying to get this specifically as an adult or as a couple. Now, I'm going to talk a little bit about how to actually physically get onto these programs in a little bit, but the next state that we're really going to look at is going to be in the state of Michigan. Now, Michigan is interestingly doing a program that's for $400 refund stimulus checks. And this one actually is, according to what a lot of articles say, is actually a program that is actually now approved, interestingly, according to a lot of resources. Now, I think someone there is probably going to have to really specify, because we always just try to get information. We always try to cross-check the information by asking people that are actually physically in that particular state what it's like. But it is believed that they're going to be sending out a $400 stimulus check over the next potential like 1 to 2 weeks, with the due date specifically hoping to send out whoever qualifies for the stimulus check by around the beginning of May. I believe the date they gave is pretty much May 9th, 2022. And one thing I will say that's very important to note, I think, about this program is that this is actually admittedly a program that in order to get onto this, you do actually have to own a vehicle of some kind. Because the way this program is going to work is that they're going to essentially send out a $400 check for every single vehicle you own, but that vehicle has to have been registered under your name from a date of somewhere during October 31st, 2021, because 2022 hasn't happened yet, or October 2022. So it has to have been a vehicle that has been dated since October 31st, 2021, so pretty much the most recent Halloween or before. And it applies per vehicle, which means that if you have one vehicle, it's going to be $400. If you are some people that maybe collect cars and have like 4 vehicles, it's going to be $1,600. What's really, really nice about this program is that they are also including a lot of other kinds of vehicles, which means that if you either have an RV or a motorcycle, that also counts as a vehicle. The not so good news about this, of course, is that it means that you actually have to own a vehicle. So if you are someone that does not have a vehicle, then this is probably not going to be as relevant to you. Most of them will be, but this is just one of them that sadly is not necessarily the case. But at least it's still happening, and for people that, this does apply to, that's actually going to potentially be a lot of money. So that is the really, really great news. And now the next state that we're really going to talk about is going to be a state that actually has many, many drivers and one of the highest cost of gas right now. So this is a really particular good thing, is going to be in the state of beautiful sunny side California. Now, the California situation, I will admit, right now is currently a proposal. So it's very, very probable that they are working on it, so a very high probability of approving. But it is still important to notice is that right now at this time as we're speaking, it is a proposal. However, what they're going to hope to do is that they're going to be trying to do a $400 stimulus check. But what's beautiful, and I guess the better thing about this program compared to the Michigan program that we just mentioned, is that in California, they're going to be doing this program to almost every single person in California, regardless of whether they own a vehicle or not. Ideally, the goal is that they want to get people to use this money to buy gas with it. But what's great is that they're going to be opening up to make it super inclusive. So what that means is that you're going to potentially be able to get this even if you don't drive a car. Kind of like me. And I know a lot of people, so I totally feel it out there that are probably watching this right now. Now, in terms of talking a little bit about the delivery, each location is going to have a very, very different estimated delivery. I believe because Michigan, it has already actually officially been approved. They're hoping to try to do this over the next about 1 to 2 months. So that's probably the one that's expected the soonest. However, in California, because it currently is a proposal right now, the hope is that if they're able to get this program through, what they're hoping to try to send out as their delivery date is that they're going to try to deliver it sometime around very late spring or early summer. They haven't really given a specific date like Michigan, but because of the typical timeline, it's predicted that it's probably going to come sometime before July of this year, assuming that it's able to officially approve. But of course, again, that's just something that we have to see. Now, in terms of the deliveries for basically all of these states combined in general, because we talked about a couple today, there's even more that are coming. But we just, because of time-related reasons, we can only cover so many. But in terms of how the deliveries are going to work in terms of getting onto this is that the really great news is that for almost all of these programs, they're going to be automatic, which essentially means that you don't have to necessarily do anything if you do end up qualifying for this program. I believe that for the programs related to things that you have to actually physically own a car, what they're going to do is that they're going to be trying to get your information through your car insurance. So your car insurance, because they're the ones that will provide the information about each vehicle, they're going to have your info, they're going to use that info and then try to send you the money through that. So essentially almost like getting a $400, car insurance payment, even if you don't actually have a thing that's going on related to your car, you would still be able to get this. And then for a lot of the programs that do not relate to owning a vehicle, so for example, like what's happening in California, that one, it's pretty much going to work exactly like every other kind of traditional stimulus check that we've had for pretty much the first, the second, and the third stimulus check, where they're going to be taking the information directly from when you file your taxes, and then whatever bank account you have on file, that's what they're going to use to send you the money so that you guys can hopefully have, and now spend it on just what you guys really want to enjoy, whether this has to do with gases, whether it has to hopefully, do with some necessities like bills, food, survival, shelter, to even things maybe if you do happen to have extra money to just fun related experiences. Pretty much just whatever the heart desires or actually physically needs. That's basically up to everyone to decide. But really beyond this is that that's pretty much what I really just wanted to cover in today's update. I know we only got to a few states. There's going to be a lot of other states that are coming up. And again, we tried to speak also about states collectively, but that's what we really have for today's update. So if you guys hopefully found that relatively insightful, or maybe can take some, pleasure to know there's other fellow Americans, because I know it's, relevant to some people, maybe consider smashing the like button if you guys haven't done so. Consider subscribing, hitting the bell. And as always, feel free to comment any questions, personal thoughts about honestly anything. Always great to say hi to new and familiar faces. And if you're watching this on release date, have a great start to the brand new week and the rest of this month of March 2022. And to see you guys next time. Thank you guys so much again.